ethics project I decided to do about being selfless. So again, this is my ethics project about being selfless, and it's by Touchstone. So let's begin. What does it mean to be selfless? Many people have different opinions and ideas and definitions about what being selfless looks like. The most concrete definition that I found states this: having little or no concern for oneself, especially with regard to fame, money, position, etc. Now, being selfless can be distributed by anyone and in any setting. It could be at your work, at your in your sport, in your schooling. It really can be anywhere you please. It's just about putting others first. That's what it is about. That is being selfless. Now, quality of character. What is character, and how does being selfless relate to a person's character? So let's begin with character. The definition that I like that explains character states: features and traits that form the individual nature of some person or something. Now, individual nature can be like someone's personality or overall attitude towards people and just how they regularly act. It describes their character. Put it all together, it's their character. So being selfless would be a feature or trait of a person's character, if that makes sense. What I think being selfless looks like, I strongly believe that being selfless is one of the biggest character traits someone can have. Putting others' needs, feelings, desires, pretty much anything before your own is what being selfless looks like. How being selfless demonstrates great character. When a person demonstrates being selfless, they show that that person that they're putting themselves before themselves. This could be, again, distributed by everyone. You just have to have the kindness of the heart to do it. And again, being selfless, it doesn't just show putting others before you. It shows love, compassion, kindness, caring, and much more. And all of these little things are a part of character too. So being selfless also reveals so many more traits that go into a person's character, which I love, which I think says so much about a person. Examples of being selfless can be found pretty much everywhere. A couple that I want to highlight is, and they're very easy to do, is letting someone go ahead of you, letting someone go first, whether this be in line at a store or simply just waiting for the bathroom, anything like that. That shows that you're sacrificing your time for that other person. You may not even know them, and you never know what kind of impact that may have on someone. We see this a lot in sports, this example, helping someone who has fallen. We've seen it in the Olympics and other sporting events that, for example, like these two pictures on the side, someone's running in a race and someone may be first and then they fall, but the person behind them stops and helps them. Not only did that person that stopped to help sacrifice them winning that race and any other personal benefit if they kept on going, but they stopped and actually cared about that person and put that person above anything else, which is so important. That's a big part of being selfless. It's basically just sacrificing personal benefit for someone else. That's what an example of being selfless is. Now, I'm a coach, and I've really enjoyed reading these books that have been provided by this class about coaching and character and how important character is in sports. And we've read that winning and losing shouldn't be a goal or an object of the entire practice and games of being a coach. Teaching our athletes great character should be our primary objective. Character is so much more important than winning and losing a game. Character will go throughout these athletes' entire lives, and they can apply it almost anywhere. So character is so important as a coach to teach. A goal in being a coach should be have the ability to shape an athlete's character. One way of teaching athletes how to be selfless would be showing them great teamwork. What is teamwork? Teamwork is the entire team coming together, depending and trusting on each other to have a goal of, whether that be winning or scoring a goal. It could be various goals, but the one thing I want to highlight is that the team comes together and works together, and they put each other first before themselves. That is what true teamwork looks like. In order to be successful in a sport, athletes have to rely on each other to get the job done. I found a quote through the book that we had to read for this class called Teaching Character Through Sport by Brown, and I'll read this quote for you guys. The primary role of coaches is to build a lifetime character traits in young people who are in their care, helping young men and women understand the difference between right and wrong behavior and teaching them to have the courage to live by those standards makes the act of coaching an expression of love. I love that. I think he pretty much just puts it out there that a coach's job is not about making that player better in their sport, but teaching these characteristics of character that they can use in their sport to become successful, but also in life. Teaching, again, to highlight on this book, the overview of this book is about a coach that teaches the traits of a character, that the traits of character are more important than winning or losing. That's the moral of this book, and I really loved reading this book. I've actually been applying these certain things to my coaching and just seeing how maybe it'll make a difference in these kids' lives. Now, being selfless as a leader. When you are a leader, it is so important that you have this trait of being selfless. People want to feel cared about and that their needs and thoughts are acknowledged. That's how you get people to follow you, and that's how you become a leader. A great leader will hear what everybody in the crowd has to say and actually take them into account, not just blow them off, actually listen to them. That's what makes a great leader. A great leader will put others before themselves. And I think we don't see this in a lot of leaders anymore these days. I think leaders just get in that position because they've been promoted or directed towards that position. But great leaders, successful leaders, will listen to their people and their needs. That's what makes a great leader. And that's how being selfless can be applied to a leadership position. I also liked this quote that I found by John Maxwell. It says, "The heart of leadership is putting others ahead of yourself." That's plain and simple. There's the definition of being selfless right there. Is put anyone ahead of yourself and you'll be a great leader. Now, the Bible has a lot to say about being selfless. I mean, God pretty much, one of the top 2 things that God asks us to do is to love our enemies and our neighbors before putting ourselves first. I found 2 verses that I really thought that this applied to, and I'll read them really fast. John 15:16. "Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends." And the next one that I liked, it says, Philippians 2:3-4, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of the interest of others." Those are 2 great verses that God gives us that says to be selfless. That's what He wants us to do. He wants us to treat other people better than we do ourselves. And I mean, that's one of the top 2 things He asks us to do in the Bible is love our friends before ourselves. Another quote that I found, it states, this goes back to the leadership role. Great leadership is not selfish or self-centered. Great leadership is really not about the leader at all. Not his or her recognition, promotion, or permanence. Great leadership, wherever it occurs, is about service to a worthy cause. Now, in conclusion, being selfless, again, I've said it multiple times, is one of the biggest character traits. Being selfless can be shown every single day. Being selfless will set up a person to be a great leader and be successful in life. Thank you.